Welcome back, everyone. With me tonight is...
Subonicket Poster.
Indeed. So, last time in the story, we had cause to go to Kingston, Jamaica, which is where we'll mostly be hanging out this update.
Fire she blows!
And the Jackdaw is sufficiently powerful enough to start taking on Man-of-Wars with a realistic chance of victory.
How exciting.
Yep. Oh, and today I've also recorded pretty much the last of the Black Flag footage that I ever wrote. It's an important milestone for me because I've been playing this game for, I don't know, the last 2 months recording footage.
I know how you feel.
When you're fighting powerful ships like these, the last thing you want to do is start crashing into land, which is what I just did.
Ready to fire, sir! Fire!
I guess the nice thing about Man-of-Wars is that they wallow like a pig in shit, so at least they're easy to outmaneuver.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the Man-of-War can move so slowly and you can move so fast, you're literally just circling around them and they can't even fire at you. That's the ideal, but when Man-of-Wars have backup like frigates, they can be pretty hard to take down. And that was me just replenishing a little of my health because I was in a pretty bad spot.
Taking a hit, Cap! She's vulnerable there, Cap! Let's go explode! Take the shot! Ready to fire! She's vulnerable there, Cap! Fire!
There we go. So this is the absolute worst spot you can be in with the swivel gun because when you're aiming, it's not very easy to precisely aim up at a Man-of-War. Thankfully, the hitbox on the cannonballs is pretty generous, so even if you're remotely close to a guy, you can hit him. Or you can just fire cannonballs against the side of the ship and take out guys from the splash damage. Did you know an Ethernet cable is not connected?
That is good to know.
Yeah, it's really surprising because I never see that pop up.
You have the most stable internet connections.
Yep. But I always like killing the scouts because there's really only one good way to do it: is chuck them off. There's our second Man-of-War captured.
Legitimately or otherwise?
No, legitimately. Last video was the first time I actually took on a Man-of-War and won, and here I am taking over my second. But the one I captured in Cumberland Bay does not count. Oh. Oh, I guess the game is counting the one I took over in Cumberland Bay, even though I didn't fight for it.
Are you still captured?
Yeah,
it?
technically. Kingston, Jamaica. I'm pretty sure you can come here earlier in the story, it's just you have nothing plot-wise to do here until this point. Oh, and we have new information on the new Assassin's Creed. It's officially called Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It takes place in 1868 in London, the Victorian era. And apparently the main sort of overriding objective of the game is to recruit a bunch of criminal gangs to take on the establishment in London. So, ought to be pretty good, I think.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, it could. I was actually thinking of getting the Gold Edition because one of the things the Gold Edition comes with is the Baker Street outfit. So I personally can't wait to play Sherlock's Creed.
Great.
Yeah, I am really looking forward to the Baker Street outfit. But actually, I'm not really going to be in Kingston very long because we have a white whale to kill. I actually tried to kill one before I came here, but I ran out of harpoons, which I almost never do. But white whales, they take a lot of harpoons to kill.
A lot of harpoons. Yeah. Even upgraded.
Yeah, even upgraded, you still need a bunch to actually kill them. They just have too much health. So one thing about Kingston as opposed to Nassau, and, well, Nassau's kind of the same. Kingston and Havana are pretty different. Havana is pretty big. There's a lot of narrow streets. There's not a lot of areas that aren't in the city. Kingston actually has quite a few areas that don't have a lot of buildings around, so it's a little more rural.
If Sleeping Berserk darts are just purchasable at stores, you'd think more people would be running around with blowpipes.
Yeah, especially considering how much...
Why doesn't everyone have one? Because they're fantastic!
Yeah, they really are. All you need to do is buy a Berserk dart, get a blowpipe, which is not exactly high technology, and just go to town. So in traditional Assassin's Creed habits, the first thing you do when getting to a new city is get at least one viewpoint in, because you're pretty much blind without, unless you want to run around and actually find things legitimately. Viewpoints are the best way to do that kind of thing. Although, looking at some of the footage for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the scale of the towns in that game as compared to, say, this game, it's quite a bit different. Like, the streets in London are like twice as wide as they are here in Kingston. So London is so big, you can get carriages to drive around in, so the scale is completely different, but we are talking about the PS4 here.
Is it more on par with, say, Unity, where it's like a one-to-one type thing?
I think they'll probably go for that, but we don't know a whole lot about the game. Apparently, London is supposed to be about 30% bigger than Paris was. So,
goodness.
Ubisoft will keep pushing those engines to their limits, I guess.
I'm trying to think of fun things in London to climb.
Well, there's
Big Ben being the obvious.
Yeah,
but...
I can't wait to jump off Big Ben into the Thames, or a haystack would be preferable, I think.
You could jump into the Thames and then get some sort of awful disease, because it certainly wasn't very clean at that point in time.
Nope. And the smog skyscraper, the smog atmosphere of London, that ought to be fun too. Thankfully, I don't think they'll go quite as real as having a character get a terrible disease and start coughing.
I don't know, that would be a nice detail.
And actually, Syndicate's also interesting because it's the first time there's a female protagonist in a mainline Assassin's Creed game.
Because it's been really hard to do that before.
Yep, everyone makes fun of Ubisoft for that whole too hard to model female characters thing, so... They're actually, you know, trying this time. I guess that's good.
See how much of an ass sway she has.
Yeah.
Like with Mass Effect, you know, female Shepard was just sort of something they tacked on and they didn't do anything special. And it works just fine. She doesn't need to sway her ass. She's a soldier.
Well, considering how covering the assassin's robes are, I don't think they'll need to worry about that particular detail.
And I hope they don't.
Yeah, I hope they don't, too. And speaking of Mass Effect, female Shepard and the female assassin in Syndicate, voiced by Jennifer Hale.
Business.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Great, not to buy the fucking game.
I was enduring the credits for the major DLC of this game. They are like, I don't know, they were literally about like 25 to 30 minutes long. And when it got to the voice actor section, I was pleasantly surprised. There wasn't a single name I recognized in the voice list. Like we were talking about, Ubisoft's pretty good about diversifying voice acting.
You stop.
Jennifer Hale's Canadian. So.
Just here.
It took him a minute there to aggro, didn't it? What's that loud noise?
Like,
oh, it's you!
Oh, and Kingston is also a little special because there are actually two halves to the city. There's sort of the main one, and then there's actually boats that can take you over the port to Port Royal, actually. There's not actually much in Port Royal except for a big fortress that will inevitably be used for a future mission, but I don't know, it's neat having a city in two halves. But now we're gonna go take out the white whale. Because white whales are time limited in that when you discover them, they'll go away after like 8 hours, I think. So you need to take them out or they'll disappear.
Just respawn somewhere else?
They will respawn, but it's not exactly something you can count on happening. Like there were like 4 or 5 videos in a row where I didn't see any white whales pop up.
Let's move! It's a humpback!
Yep, see, it's got about 3 hours. Oh, I did take out that humpback, so now I can get my 4th pistol slot. Pistol holster, that is.
This place is just lousy with whales right now.
And British ships. There's like 6 of them over there. Two man of wars, 2 frigates, and 2 brigs. Jeez.
There she blows! The white whale!
Let's do it.
Let's hunt, lads.
White whale would be a lot of fun just to go right into the middle of an open fire and see how many could take each other out with the crossfire.
Yeah, there's not many opportunities to get enemies to shoot at each other.
We have him on the line! He's off!
Luckily, the white whale is a really, really big
The
target.
beast is
So
hurt.
as long as you're aiming in the general direction of it, you'll probably hit it all the time.
He's coming on, Sid! Watch it! The tail! The beast is hurt! See that, lad? The road!
Something's coming.
Tyler down! This one's
Right,
dangerous!
about-
Yeah. He actually took out a third of my health, even with the fully upgraded Robo.
The beast is hurt! He's turning the sea red! Get him before he snaps that tail! He's careful, lad! This one's dangerous! There he is! Starboard bow!
Oh, and you mentioned this. They were saying starless. They were mispronouncing starboard. I actually did.
Starboard and larboard.
Yeah, larboard. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I actually did hear them say larboard on my research.
Nice one!
For some reason, they say larboard.
Ha!
I don't know why.
Yeah, I kept getting confused.
Ha!
because, you know, did I hear that right? Did they say starboard?
Get him before he snaps that
I've
tail!
written the wrong way.
Good hit, Cap!
Dipshit, no, never mind.
The beast is hurt!
I mean, I know what starboard and port are, but I've never heard of larboard before this game.
Patience, patience.
Away, Captain! We have him on the line! Hold fast! He's off! Finish him off, sir! There! Did it, Captain!
These great big fish.
Hey, whales aren't fish.
Look at the size of him!
I mean, he is pretty huge. Look at me. He is.
Yeah, you think it would tip the boat over.
Yep. And we killed 5 sea animals. Go us.
Loose top!
Hooray!
Now, there's something special with white whales. If you kill 3 of them, then you can craft the whale hunting outfit, which is not the best in the game, but I don't know. It's nice, I guess.
Drink whiskey when I can. Whiskey, Johnny, I'm drinking out of an old.
Although the DLC for this game has the best firearm in the series so far, it's basically a shotgun.
broken nose. Whiskey,
It's fun getting like 8 guys in front of you, then turning around and blowing away like 8 of them in a single shot.
Is it a spray or does it have just really good penetrative power, or both?
It depends on the one you're using, but generally there's 2. One of the weapons has good range but terrible spread. The other has great range but great spread but terrible range. But the best one is a nice mix, so you can be pretty brutal with that thing. It's awesome. Yep, humpback whale skin. There we go, all 4.
Dun, dun, dun.
We still need to kill a lot more animals to get, yeah, the whaler outfit. I need 3 white whale skins. But now, in the grand tradition of this game, the mission coming up, tailing mission.
My favorite.
Yep, like half of the missions in this game are tailing. It's very strange.
When they give you the opportunity to rate the mission after like 4 of them, you're like, no, this is shit, stop doing it.
I actually did get 2 new Assassin's Creed games today, but after playing this game for like 2 months and continuing to do an LP for it, I'm a little burned out, so I'll wait.
I had them blown clear to.
keep.
Rough reception.
Yeah, I
there, I'll
finally did
wager.
fire up Unity. It's not bad so far. Of course, it's been patched to hell and back, so it doesn't have some of the weird issues that were there on launch.
Oh, and oh, hey, I knocked that guy into the hay bale. Hey, what is that guy doing up here? He climbed up to the roof. Anyway, taking that lift up. If you take a lift up and then a guard is like right next to it, you'll kill them with the bag that comes down.
Nice.
Most of the time I do it, it's an accident, but that time it wasn't.
It was an accident. It slipped out of my hand.
And this is one of Kingston's 2 plantations. The other one is on the north side of the city.
Shoot the fat man with a dart.
And the guy we need to steal the key from is currently over in that shed. Or the barn, whatever you want to call it. So that was a whole lot of waiting around getting to where this guy is. Not particularly amusing. Good old plant. I actually tried to do a couple plantation raiding missions late in the game when most of the things I was doing was just going around and getting the last collectibles, but wow, I really screwed the pooch on those too. I was just getting spotted everywhere. Just terrible.
Sort of that late game hubris where you're like, I got this, no problem.
Yeah, I was at a point where it wasn't even really worth the effort to try and sneak around, and the rewards from the plantation also were not good enough to justify my time. You know, even though I'm usually a pretty big fan of black outfits, I can't say I particularly like this one. It's straight black. There's nothing too special about it. It's not colorful, is what it is. It's what it is not.
No embellishments, no embroidery.
Yeah.
He just cannot get into a bar without a fight to save his life.
Apparently not. Yep. Oh,
That looked like a little more than beating up.
yeah, twisting a guy's head around. You can, if you go into taverns, you can hire crew, but it's not particularly worth it. I mean, go nuts if you want to, but whatever.
You can get them free from the ocean.
Yep. And by taking over enemy ships as well.
The bounty of the sea.
But yeah, this mission coming up is one of the more elaborate tailing missions, in that there's a tailing segment and a combat segment and a chase segment that's at the very end. So it's fairly elaborate, I guess.
Don't you want a chance to defend? Grazie. My thanks. I'm your man now, Capitano.
I would not expect that guy to speak Italian, given...
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, he's Italian?
I
Grazie.
would not have picked up on that.
Here's how it goes. Torres meets with Prince, carrying a portion of the ransom, saying the rest is close behind. When we see the Sage, you bring in the rest of the gold, make the swap, and get out. I'll be watching all from close by.
No, Kenway, you run this scheme alone, at the risk of losing the faith of your crew. It makes me ill to think of you bartering with that wretched slaver.
Come on, mate. Once we have the Sage, we'll all be rich.
Not if young Master Kid gets to him first.
Kid? Jesus. That lad's here to kill him.
So I kind of screwed up a few times with this mission, so that's why the awkward cut there.
I'm tailing these men.
Kind of screwed up a
You
few
hold on
times.
till he appears.
The Sage is here.
Aye. And Prince is leading us straight to him.
All right, Jesus. I'll stay, my blade, for a time, but not long.
How long has it been since our last meeting, Senor Prince? A year?
Near 18 months. You first described this Roberts fellow to me in November.
Because no one knows what senor means.
Yeah, it's very odd he throws in those very common Spanish words. Like, when he says yes, he says sí, and then it translates it into yes, because no one's ever heard of sí before.
None call me governor, for instance, for I quit.
Yeah, at least in, like, Brotherhood and whatnot, you gotta learn all these really fun Italian curse words.
Yeah.
Can't understand.
You're making me nervous, kid. Keep your blades corked.
Just my bloody
So one of the additional objectives killed gunners on the roofs. And I'm not really sure why I threw a smoke bomb, but hey. Oh, because the other objective killed guys who have been stunned by smoke bombs. So 2 birds with one.
There you go, too. Yeah, just knock it all out at
I
once.
was really confused why I did that, but yeah. I thought I could get a shanty while still tailing these guys, but it was not to
No.
be.
How far?
We're nearly there.
And I'm not too sure where that guy came from. There we go.
Probably for the best. He wasn't exactly observant anyway.
Yeah.
Not the best employee there.
Luckily, getting spotted from guys does not immediately fail tailing missions, but it's really dangerous.
Thinking, feeling men deserve respect and opportunity.
You got all sorts of shit going
Spaniards.
on.
Your long ties to the Moors have diluted your blood and softened your heart.
I'm not going to say I believe in the natural equality of all races or sexes. Surely only talent and intelligence should lead. But there is no true profit to be gained by the practice of slavery. In the short term, it makes us money, see. But in the long term,
Yeah, there he goes. See
we
again.
are the victims of our own success.
Ah, but you and I, sir, old as we are, will not live to see that unfortunate day. So why bother?
These guys should all be fired.
Yeah, that guy walked right past me. Didn't even get observant. Suspicious, that is.
Watch for your step, boy!
For virtue, if nothing else.
Virtue? Oh, Torres. I have no wish to waste my day chattering about slaves and
The last gunner on your route, he's kind of out there, so best bet, get a pistol, shoot him in the head.
Because apparently gunshots don't aggro people either.
Apparently not, even though the guys and I screwed up the last part of the tailing mission, but I checkpointed fairly close to it, I guess.
Other stories about you, true, sir. You were a governor in Florida for a time.
And from the last video, I actually discovered that this game, it does checkpoint in the middle of missions, but that applies to even if you turn off the console or not. So you can turn off the console in the middle of the mission, load up your save file, and you'll be back in the mission. It's a nice touch.
Only I feel I have too much money and not enough years.
Speaking of stories, Prince, I've heard it said you were with Henry Morgan the day he signed.
And I really like these openings. Sometimes you'll come across houses that doors open, run up the stairs, you get a cool little jumping through. I love doing those.
But let us not overesteem the honors forged and won on the battlefield.
Yeah, there's a ton of them in
That
Unity.
skirmish was a deadly...
Yeah, there's only like 2 or 3 in Havana and Kingston in this game. I mean, they're cool to go through, it's just you don't get a whole lot of chances to actually
It
use
wasn't
them.
until many years after that I sheathed my sword in favor of a far safer and yet more profitable venture. Capital and resources. That's where money is made. And sir, let me tell you, honor bought is more enjoyable than honor won. If a touch less
See,
permanent.
capital resources, former governor of Florida.
Ooh.
You tailing Rick Scott?
You say you came
He doesn't
alone,
attack your,
Horace?
Okay.
That-
I was gonna say, that would be really funny.
Yeah, it would be hilarious if he went and attacked Torres and Prinz, but unfortunately not.
Ah.
I think the AI is kind of designed to ignore them, like pretend they're not there, even though you're...
Just so it doesn't do that.
Yeah, that would be really goofy if it did.
Here's a quiet spot. I'll see the money.
This is a portion of the ransom. The rest is close at hand.
It pains me to traffic someone of my own race.
It does kind of look a little like Rick Scott if he had actual hair.
Tell me again, what has this Roberts fellow done to upset you?
Is this some form of Protestant piety I'm not familiar with?
And was much older, but, you know, it's close enough, I guess.
Perhaps another day.
What?
Next time, see to it that we are not followed. Deal with this!
Well, at least he was paying attention.
Yeah. Considering all the racket we made, at least someone was.
Maybe it was that gunshot that tipped him off.
For a better cause.
And I've discovered that the grenades do have actual physics. They're not just like balls that the grenadiers throw. Ah, sorry about the kid. Anyway, they can actually bounce off of them.
Lost your chance, man. I'm going after Prinz.
Kid, no!
So now, last part, we need to hunt down James Kidd.
Stop!
Not this time, Kenway.
And Kid has a lot of the same tricks that assassins usually use, like throwing money to distract crowds, or smoke bombs, or just general better parkour than AI is typically capable of in this game.
I was gonna say, well, he is an assassin,
Yeah.
so makes sense.
Unfortunately, I did not mean to do that, so I need to kind of improvise. But luckily, Kid is about to jump off the roof, so...
Jim, stop!
There we go.
Damn you old strats, keep your natty hands off me!
I can't let you kill those men, kid. Not until I found the sage.
I've been stalking that pig for a week now, charting his moves, and here I find not one but two of my targets, and you rob me of both.
Patience, man.
And if you'll notice, Ubisoft was careful not to add the Cross of St. Andrew to the British flag in this game.
I wonder how they can have such a good eye for small details and then fuck up things like, you know, loading.
Yeah.
Maps.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I do not particularly wish to play Unity when it was so close to release, even though I was looking forward to the game. But it's just, I wonder how things like that can get through Q&A.
I guess not having any, I don't know. But a lot of studios do the same thing, where I guess they're under such a crunch to release a game by a certain date, and shit just falls by the wayside, but it's important shit.
Yeah, it really is, because bugs like that, they can affect future releases, they can affect popular perception of your games, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, if nothing else, goodwill. I didn't buy Unity. I was interested in it. I was like, oh, cool, Paris. But, you know, I had other things to play right when it came out, and then all I heard was that it was a fucking disaster. And so I had absolutely no intention of buying it. It was given to me as a gift.
The only reason I didn't get Unity when it launched was because I was over in Taiwan, and I really did not have the room to be packing a PS4 along with my considerable other things that I brought there, so I just, for lack of wait, for avoiding the wait when I eventually went back, I didn't get the game or PS4. But I'm kind of glad I didn't now.
No, you can't climb these boards. You can only climb those other boards.
I don't think this is necessarily the tallest structure. There's one over in the distance that I think may be a little higher up, but this is definitely one of the... This is the biggest building in Kingston. It might not be Notre Dame, but you know, take what you get.
Yeah, I tried to do that in Unity and I didn't have enough of it unlocked yet, so it wouldn't let me. I was pissed. Fine, I'll come back later. And of course, it's too early for Tour Eiffel, so, because that would be fun to climb too, but I have the Saboteur for that.
But we've got enough time for a couple assassination missions.
Let's get stabby.
Yep. Or shooty, depending on the circumstances.
Can you just cheese the fuck out of it and kill him with the Berserk Dart?
Yeah, you can. You can shoot a Berserk Dart at the guy, then his friends will kill him. Shooting guys is also recommended because it's ranged, but I don't know. I like to kill guys with the hidden blade whenever possible.
Oh, sure. You know, it's always about style.
Yep. Wow, I cut out the ending. Well, you can probably guess what happened next. But yeah, as I've always said, if you can't do things with style, you shouldn't be doing them at all.
Right. Whether that's your outfit or your equipment.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people like to give their player characters really stupid outfits in games like Grand Theft Auto for the humor factor, and that's fine, but I don't know, I just don't see things the same way.
Well, I guess it depends on the game, too, because if you're playing Saints Row and you're not dressed like an idiot, you are actually playing the game wrong.
Right.
Naked with a traffic cone on your head. Yes, that's how we want to do story missions.
But luckily, you don't really get the chance to dress up like an idiot in Assassin's Creed games. None of the outfit colors really make you look stupid. I think some are better than others, but none of them make you look like an idiot.
They'll probably get around eventually to letting you pick colors for your outfits, and then it will be.
I think you can do that in Unity. Either you can customize colors.
You can customize, but they're color palettes, so it's like, you know, blue, gray, red, or whatever. You can't pick individual pieces and color them individually, because otherwise it'd be like, yeah, hot pink. I totally blend in.
Well, it's only a matter of time. I mean, we're getting there.
Yeah, it'll happen.
But the ultimate, I think, in assassination missions is pickpocketing from the guy you're supposed to be killing. That's really, I think, the ultimate.
He's just like, fuck this.
A lot of general mayhem getting away from those guys, but we've got another plantation to raid. And a viewpoint. A lot of abridged actions in this LP, but you can, 99% of them, you could probably guess what I did next. Like,
well, if it's something you've already done like 20 times, you don't need to see it.
And going around getting a bunch of treasure chests in the middle of nowhere, also not particularly interesting. Unless the chests are in an interesting spot, like inside a cave or in some special...
Or something weird happens, right?
Otherwise, most of the time, you're not even... I mean, I'll show one or two of them, but you don't need to see all of them, I think. You get the picture, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I did raid that plantation, but nothing really interesting happened there. The only thing I did was goofiness with the well. That's about it. And a guy way up, sort of in the mountains north of Kingston. He's actually pretty close to Lawrence Prince's plantation, so bit of a foresty area. Now there's sort of a main entrance and a side entrance. The side entrance is definitely the better one.
This is not what I came to the New World for. I'm not here.
What did you come to the New World for? We want to know.
I don't want anything to do with it.
I've heard it said our commander calls Captain Woods Rogers a friend as well.
The man who rescued Selkirk. That Captain Rogers.
Alexander Selkirk was the inspiration for the Robin Crusoe story, so we're a real person, yes.
After taking a pellet to the face, lodged in his pallet for a couple of days.
By Christ, and the man lived?
Broke no stride, in fact, and continued barking orders until the next morning when he took a splinter to the heel. That took him off his feet for a day.
I would have also appreciated an arrow to the knee. Just to sort of tie it into... if I was the script writer for this game, I would have done arrow to the knee and not splinter in the foot.
Isn't that the truth? Pass the bottle, will you?
Now, I did want to pickpocket from this guy. Unfortunately, things did not work out the way I thought they would. For some reason, that guy aggroed, even though I was hidden, and that was a low-profile kill. So I'm gonna call bullshit on the game for that one.
haven't been detected.
He wasn't even looking in the same direction. It's crap.
He's trying to make up for all the times that they were looking right at you.
Yeah, I guess. And we're on a roll on a 4th assassination mission. Now this one is a little different because the guy you're trying to kill, he's already involved in a fight. You're supposed to kill him without him seeing you to get the best rewards. But it can be kind of tough since guys who are aggressive, they're a little more aware than usual. Unless the guys are fighting their crazy friends, in which case they have very poor vision. You can just like run right past them and they won't see you. So yeah, you can already see there's a brouhaha going down by the port.
Someone has been trying to get into a bar.
Yeah. Now here, there was one Abstergo challenge I wanted to do. Kill 5 guys and it's with a single smoke bomb. Within 10 seconds, that is. Ooh, I'm on a 5th one. 5th and final. There is a windmill in Kingston we'll be going to at next video, but there is also one, I'm not sure of the island, but I know there is one. And the fun thing is that you can climb on windmill blades and turn with them, and climb on them and they'll turn with you.
I remember doing that.
Unfortunately, the windmill in Kingston is just a little too big for you to do that from ground. Lots of couriers showing up lately. But the nice thing about couriers is that taking their stuff, you'll almost always refill all of your ammunition.
Pirate! Run for your life!
I don't know why I bother bartering with you lot. We're the
That lady's like, oh, no, no, no.
time is of the essence.
Now, what I wanted to do was kill this guy with a trick shot by shooting him through the fence posts. I actually do manage to get a line of sight on him. Unfortunately, I couldn't really see him is the problem, so I was kind of aiming at nothing.
We're not safe. Pipe down, you. You done so?
So yeah, you can see my reticle briefly turning red, but I think that's because I'm aiming at a fence post, and I don't know. The way Edward is looking and the way where his hand is not the same. So it's realistic, but it's annoying is what it is.
Mommy, what's that man doing to that fence? Nothing.
Halt! Team 2, Jack!
There we go. Didn't trigger any alarms. But off we go.